everyone, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe I'm sitting here doing a sit down video. So part of it is, I don't often have energy to do sit down videos, but on top of that, sadly, I realized I don't have a lot of inspiration currently for sit down videos. So I think maybe wrap-ups kind of overwhelm me. So the reading vlogs are working for me now, but I did have something that I wanted to talk about in a video that I have like things to say about. So I thought I would sit down today and make a video on what I've been watching lately, which is all period dramas. Let me tell you, when you don't feel well, there is nothing like just sitting down and getting swept away by something that is about, traveling back to yesteryear. So I have 7 that I want to talk about in the recent months and weeks that I have been watching. And the first that maybe I'm the most excited about on this list, so maybe I should have saved it, but I'm just going to talk about it now, and that is High Seas. So whoever you are on Instagram who recommended this to me, I am eternally grateful. I have gotten so swept away by this. This is like a Netflix Spain miniseries, like telenovo mystery series, and it is set on a cruise ship that's traveling to Brazil, and there are some dead bodies involved. But this is so gripping. There are so many twists and turns, and I have no idea what's going to happen next. So on the family friendly scale, all the way up, most family friendly, I would say is Lark Rise to Candleford, and then going down to the middle is Downton Abbey. So this is like a Downton Abbey level of scandal. So maybe that can give you an idea of what kind of age kids you can watch with if you have kids. Anyhow, yes, so they're sailing to Brazil, and there's so many twists and turns, so I don't know how much I want to say, but I will say there are 2 sisters, Eva and Carolina, and Carolina is engaged to a man who we just don't know what to make of. Is he good? Is he bad? We're just not sure. Fernando is his name, and we just need to get to know him more. And then Eva is a lovely character. I really love how they have Carolina and Eva, they have this sisterly bond, but they both have their own distinct personalities. And also on board is Carolina and Eva's uncle. And then there is just a different cast of characters also on the boat that you get to know as you're going through the story. But there's so much that happens in each episode, but not too much. It's just such the perfect level of excitement for me. And what else? Just, of course, if you're watching a period drama, it's so fun to see the costumes and to see the sets, and just it's done so beautifully. So it's so nice to see this luxury ship, and all of the rich and wealthy that get to be up in the posh areas, and then you see the servants and the more middle class people that are down lower in the ship. But yes, so I will say I think it's by the end of the first episode, there is a body. There's a dead body. So yes, it's very exciting from the get-go, and I can't recommend it enough. I have 2 episodes left, so I don't know how it ends. I have some hopes and dreams for how it will end, but I don't know. We're going to see. So I can't tell you 100% that it has a happy ending, because I don't know that. Okay, next on the list is Land Girls. Again, if we're talking about, yes, here's the ratings. Okay, so Lark Rise to Candleford, most family friendly. Downton Abbey is medium, and then least family friendly, I'm going to say Poldark. I know Outlander would probably be farther down there, but I haven't seen Outlander. But Poldark was I broke up with Poldark after season 4, but that's another story for another day. Anyhow, Land Girls takes place, it's the World War II setting, so if you like that setting, this is here for you. And there are 3 seasons. I think there are 3 seasons and 6 episodes in each season. So I've just finished the first season. And you follow these 4 women during World War II. There were some women that volunteered to help out on farms to contribute to, support England in this time, in this crisis where the whole world is at war. And so it's just about their experience being in this little farm. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got some comedy. It's got some stressful, mystery things. It's got some heartwarming aspects to it. So I think because it is, I haven't like fully emotionally engaged with it, and I don't know what it is about it, but I still really like it. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's kind of though on the like Downton Abbey level of Scandal, so you might want to preview it before watching with like younger audiences. Then there was a Cinderella put out by Yuyu Media. I can't find trailers for this anywhere, but I will link the Amazon Prime page for this. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there. You can watch it. I'm pretty sure this is not on YouTube. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, I am sorry. I don't think it's on DVD even. Yuyu Media, I'm pretty sure, is an Italian company, and I only found this because I was just searching for Cinderella adaptations, because we know I love Cinderella, on Prime and Netflix. But what I loved is they have put the Cinderella's tale in 1950s in Rome. It's a really, really lovely setting for Cinderella. In this story, her name is Aurora, which I find to be a little confusing because that's supposed to be Sleeping Beauty's, one of Sleeping Beauty's names. But anyhow, her name is Aurora, and she works, well, she lives with her father. Her mother died when she was very little. And in this adaptation, she ends up, her stepmother opens up a hotel, and she works as kind of a gopher at the hotel. Sometimes she helps out in the kitchen, sometimes she's cleaning, sometimes she's helping customers at the front desk, just different things like that. And she has a love of music. So I like in Cinderella stories, in the either, you know, the like books or the movies, when they give Cinderella something besides just being Cinderella. And so she has a love of music. She's very talented, and she tries to play the piano whenever she gets a chance. And then what I love is that who they make the fairy godmother. So I won't give spoilers away for that, but that's a really lovely aspect of this story, and one of the things that I thought was a really strong point. It starts out very romantic too, where she accidentally one day goes into the garden of this Prince Charming, which it's just this wealthy family that lives in Rome. They're entrepreneurs, kind of new money. And she meets Prince Charming, and they just have this like such a connection the first time they meet. And then they go away for years, and then he comes back and he doesn't have any recollection of this. So yeah, it's very long. I think it's around 3 hours. It does get a little bit draggy at points, but still overall, I thought it was really great. And it was just really neat to see. We know I love Cinderella, and so I loved seeing so much time being given to this tale and kind of their take on it. The costumes are going to be just so lovely being in Rome in the 50s. It's just a really wonderful adaptation. There's one thing that's a spoiler, so I won't say what it was, but it made me really, really mad at the end. So if anybody ends up watching it, I would be curious to talk to you, see what you think about it. Next on the list is the House of Eliott. This is a period drama that I've talked about before, and I think it was last summer or like last April, I had started a rewatch of the series. I think I've watched the series. This is my third time watching the series, and kind of set it down for a while, and now I only have 2 episodes left. So this series, there are 3 seasons to it. Unfortunately, I started watching it when it was on YouTube, but it's since been taken down. So I just splurged on the DVD sets after one birthday. And I'm pretty sure the DVDs are still for sale on Amazon. Anyhow, I want to tell you what it's about, and that is 2 sisters, Beatrice and Evangeline, or Bea and Evie as they go by. And it's set during the Edwardian era, and their father passes away. They are old money, but then he dies, and they find out about a ton of debts, and they actually have like way less money than they thought they had, as in like barely any money. And so through a different course of events, they decide to open up a fashion house. And so, so fun for you like period drama lovers out there who love interesting costumes, because there's several points throughout the series where they have fashion shows. So you get to see these amazing costumes. This, on the like family friendly scale, I'd say this is, I don't know if it's on the Poldark level. It's in between Poldark and Downton. It's kind of scandalous. So I will say, I will like warn you going in. But I think I just love the characters of Beatrice and Evangeline so much. I am very like incredibly fond of this show, and I can't always like quite figure out what I am so fond of about it, but I just know that I love it. I haven't really seen many of the actors on other things, which is kind of sad because I think so many of them like are very good. The guy who plays one of the romantic interests, Jack Maddox, I saw him on one episode of Father Brown, so I don't know. Okay, then it's funny I should mention Father Brown because that was the next on the list. So Father Brown is based on the G.K. Chesterton detective series, but I have heard from people who read Father Brown, like it's kind of its own thing, like Lark Rise to Candleford. There's not that many Father Brown stories, and I'm pretty sure season 8 of Father Brown is like airing in the UK. So they just kind of took it and ran with it, but they did such a good job. And it's set in the countryside, which is like so glamorized in period dramas, but it works. It works. And there are not as many main characters in this as I feel like I could use maybe like 1 or 2 more main characters. There was a girl in the first season who was one of the main characters, and then she left, and they haven't like replaced her with anyone. But there's Father Brown, and then Lady Felicia, who is this like very wealthy lady of society, and she usually finds the bodies and does this big dramatic scream for them. And then Mrs. McCarthy is his housekeeper, and then Sid, who is Lady Felicia's driver, but he's really funny and just charismatic and adds a really great vibe to it. This is not too creepy for those of you who are worried about being creeped out. There's only like 2 episodes that have genuinely creeped me out, and I've watched about 20, I think, so far. Yeah, definitely recommend Father Brown. Then around my birthday, I started rewatching the Megan Fellows Anne of Green Gables series. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I made it through 2 episodes of Anne with an E, the Anne of Green Gables miniseries on Netflix, and never again. And then I just watched something like this, and I'm like, why though? This is perfect. Why would we make a new one? So anyhow, I adore this series. The first one stays true to just Anne of Green Gables, and then the second one, which is called Anne of Avonlea. That's what it's called, and it combines Anne of Avonlea, Anne of the Island, and then Anne of Wendy Poplars. It kind of diverges a fair amount, but they do, the stuff that they add in for the plot seems like things that Ellen Montgomery would have put in the plot. It's definitely its own thing though. They're just so good. I love them so much. They make the character of Anne so dear to me, and the woman who plays Marilla, like it's like she was made for that role. I love these so much. The music, the costumes, it's just like one of the most comforting things that I can ever watch, because it's also incredibly associated with my childhood. So love that. And then lastly, The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. This is made by Acorn Media. It's not a Nicholas Nickleby that I see that's like terribly popular. I actually did not enjoy the book very much of Nicholas Nickleby, but however, that being said, I love this miniseries. So I think Dickens' books, his stories, really translate well to the screen, and this is a great example of that. And so Nicholas Nickleby is a very like typical plot, or this is called The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. It's a very like Dickensian plot in that there is this young man who has a younger sister, and then there's his mother, and his father has died, and so he has to kind of take it upon himself to support the family. And then there are these nefarious characters who get in his way. There's some comical characters in there, and so with Dickens, you're going to have light and dark in the same story. And there are some really gruesome things. And in the beginning, Nicholas is at a boarding school, and this school, just the conditions these boys live in, is so abominable. Nicholas does try to change things and make things better, but then eventually he's trying to make his income through other interesting ways. And Tom Hollander is in this, and he's marvelous. He's one of my favorites. So I definitely recommend this, and it's just a really excellent miniseries. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. I don't want to make you promises though. So those are the things that I've been watching lately. Like I said, I haven't, don't have as much energy to film, and then I kind of have not been coming up with many ideas to film while I'm at it. So yeah, this is one that I was excited to talk about, and here I am. Let me know if you've seen any of these, if you're planning on seeing any of them after hearing me talk about it, and I will see you guys for another video hopefully soon.